Hello, this is Abraham Manase. My wife and I are joining you from Los Angeles, California, in USA. We are so excited to be part of this great celebration. Also receive warm Christian greetings from Bishop Tony Dunn and the New Day Christian Fellowship family here in USA. Unfortunately, my wife and I could not make it to this great day. We are so blessed. We are so blessed to be associated with this great man, Dr. Shipalana. And want to say, happy birthday to you, great man of God. And congratulations on your new books. I always call you with many titles. To me, you're my pastor. You are my mentor. You're my encourager. You're my teacher. You're my trainer. And my father in the faith. You and Mama Sonia, as Bishop Tony always affectionately calls her, you have always been there for us, very supportive. And please know that you have a special place in our hearts. Bishop, Dr. Reverend N.M. Shipalana. He's a man of purpose and a man with a great sense of direction, a man full of love. I regard him as, as my parent. I regard his wife, Mama Sonia, as my mother. They groomed me. They counseled me. They married me and my wife, Mhloti. They trained me to be a leader that I am today. I will not be where I am today if it was not because of their hard work. Just to give you a short background, the first time I came to know this great man of God, Bishop Shipalana, was way back in 1979. Yes, 1979. He came with his team to my village, Zangoma village, that's where I come from. And they had a revival at our local school with Mr. S.S. Mushwana and other team members. Ever since, I told myself that one day, I want to be like this man. The way he preached, the way he taught the word of God, it was so different from other pastors that I knew at that time. He was, and he is still a great man. He's still a great teacher of the word. Then about 6 years later or so, around 1986, that is when we started to be more closer. And I started attending his task conferences and other activities. In the 90s, we started working together so closely. And he started to deliberately train us with Pastor Aubrey Shwambana and other people like the late Brother Lazarus Baloy, who were a great and a supportive team. He worked with people, no matter where you came from, he will train you to become a leader. I remember some of the people that we worked with during those times in the ministry was Mr. Komen Mlangeni, Brother Seth Magazi, Brother Pudi Kabekwa, Dr. Helen Baloyi, Pastor Amos Mtsangwisi, Brother Rex Shiburi, Brother Elias Malungana, Pastor Lord Mushwana, Mr. Luke Mukwena, Mr. S.S. Mushwana, Mr. Maxwell Malaji, Dr. Isaac Ndawe, Mr. Andrew Mativela, Brother Joshua Tungwan, and many more. Countless number of people. Great, great men of God. Great, great women of God. Like the Manase family in Bushbuck Ridge. Great people of God. Brother Bukhoshi, great, great men of God. A lot of people that I can count. Most of us used to go to his office and help him with administration, especially during the conference seasons. You know, during those days, we had two main conferences every year. We had the task conference in winter and the student conference in December during the school holidays. Dr. Shipalana entrusted me with leading the students' wing, the Students' Christian Fellowship. So we used to organize student conferences and many activities for our students. Manish Shipalana used to, to help us a lot. She used to help us a lot. She used to cook for us. Sometimes I would call her our soup specialist. She was and she's still a great cook. I always enjoy her cookings, her meals, every time we visit her house. Every time we visit South Africa, make sure that we make a turn at her place for that great fellowship meal. She loved serving God. She loved serving students. She taught our wives how to serve in the kingdom. My wife and Mrs. Connie Shwaman, Pastor Aubrey's wife, they would always help her with preparing meals for our students while we're working with them in the hall. In our conferences, we used to invite great men of God who were friends to Bishop. Great men of God like Dr. Elijah Maswangani, Dr. Agrippa Katide, the late Pastor Nick Musuki, Dr. Masakona, the late Bishop Makwakwa, Dr. Israel Malele, and many other servants of God. We would hold conferences in places like Chisimane College of Education in Venda, Mapulanen College in Mpumalanga, Tivumbeni College here in Kowankoa, Hebron College in Pretoria, Belfast in Mpumalanga, and many, many other places. I remember when Bishop celebrated his 50th birthday, we had a great celebration at Hudson Samwisi School as the Task Fellowship, because that's where we used to meet every Tuesday. We traveled all over the country with Bishop. We traveled the whole of Limpopo, KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, Mpumalanga. Actually, we have been to almost every province in this country, in this nation, preaching the gospel. I remember one day we were coming from Fort Lawrence and we had an accident in Moria. Thank God nobody was injured. Pastor Letas Maluleke was our driver. I'm so blessed to be part of this great and special occasion. I have worked with Bishop Shipalana for more than 35 years. I was part of the establishment of Fountain of Life AFM Church. We started this church with Pastor Aubrey Shwamban and Mr. Komen Mlangeni and our wives. We started this church as a cell group. I remember our very first meeting around 1997. We were at Mr. Mlangeni's house and it was raining so heavily. And Bishop invited us to come for a cell group meeting. And that's where it all started. That's why it's all started. We saw this cell group's ministry explode in Kowankoa, right from the A section to the B section and all over the surrounding villages. And it touched the whole of Tzaneen region. We experienced a great explosion. We experienced true revival that shook the whole region, that shook the whole community. A lot of our people who got saved under our cell ministry, our cell groups ministry. They are still leaders even today. And Bishop requested me during those days, to start conducting Bible studies and leadership development trainings for these people, to train the people who just joined our cell groups. And we trained them to be leaders, to be cell leaders, to be church leaders. Some of them, they became school principals. Actually, most of those people that we trained, they are still in leadership positions, even today as I'm speaking, in different various sectors of life. Bishop also asked me to visit the churches in the Lowveld region. Remember, Bishop was the regional chairperson of our church, Apostolic Faith Mission. He asked me to conduct Bible studies and leadership trainings throughout the region. And I traveled all the way from Bushbuck Ridge. I traveled to Malamlele, Giani, all the way to Elim, the Tzaneen area. There is no assembly in our region that I did not touch. There's no assembly that I did not visit. You know, during that cell group explosion and revival, a church was born. Fountain of Life AFM Church was birthed. It has been a long journey, but it was worth it. It has been an exciting journey with ups and downs, mountains and valleys. I'm so excited to see how the church that we started with only 3 people, and it grew to where it is today. Now the church has impacted thousands and thousands of lives. Now the church has national and international recognition and impact and influence all over the world, literally all over the world. Bishop Shipalana and Mama Sonia, they have visited USA, they have visited us several times here in California. Sometimes they will come and share the word of God with people in the US. I remember very well way back in 2006 when they came with Pastor George Mahlobo, Pastor Thomas Mbungana, Bishop Evans Shipalana, and Pastor Catherine Shulubana. And we had a great time with them. They came for the celebration of the revival that took place in Los Angeles, what we call the Azusa Street celebration. Actually, it was during almost the same week like this week. You know, we're celebrating Freedom Day. It was April 27th. And we invited them to come and celebrate with us. We had a great time with the consulate and Bishop and Dr. Frank Chikano. And I pray and believe that Dr. Shipalana's legacy will carry on beyond his retirement. I believe he will leave the church in the hands of those who have a vision, faithful men, faithful women, who have a passion, who have growth mindset. I'm so glad that he wrote books that will provide a legacy for future generations. His legacy is an impact that will stay there. It's very, very important that will stay there for many years to come. His legacy is an important part of a well-lived life. Through these books, he will continue to impact future generations. As a great poet, Maya Angelou put it, if you are going to leave a legacy, make a mark on the world, and that can't be erased. Brothers and sisters, undoubtedly so, Bishop, Dr. Reverend Shipalana has left a permanent fingerprint in many lives, many families, many schools, many universities, many colleges, many ministries, and the church at large. Once again, happy birthday and congratulations on your books. May God bless you. May God continue to touch many lives through you. Have a great day. Amen.